Well, after being detained in Japan for like 4 months or so by the authorities, it seems like Johnny Somali is meeting his end there. Dexerto writing, kick streamer Johnny Somali fined by Japanese court for restaurant livestream. Johnny Somali made international headlines last year after his IRL stream antics in Japan led to his arrest. The streamer first came under fire for racist remarks after a video of passengers confronting him and an allegedly drunken rant on a train went viral. Since then, the streamer has only landed in more hot water for his videos, eventually culminating in his arrest by Japanese authorities on charges of trespassing and a formal indictment for obstructing the business of a restaurant in Osaka's Dotonboru district. Today, he was officially sentenced with a 200,000 yen fine for nuisance. It's roughly 1,400 USD for his broadcast at the restaurant. Moreover, in light of this felony offense, he will possibly be kicked out of Japan as well. However, charges of trespassing and intrusion against the streamer were actually dropped. That's a bit vague. I'm not 100% sure what they're talking about, but the trespassing and intrusion was likely referring to when he went onto that construction site and got kicked out. The streamer expressed remorse for his actions and pledged not to shoot or distribute any kind of video in the future. However, Somali continued to maintain he did not intentionally play audio, and the broadcast volume was due to viewer interaction and beyond his control. The ruling from the Osaka District Court echoed the prosecution's sentiments that an appropriate punishment was essential as a general deterrence. The defendant said that the sound was played automatically, the judge noted, but the volume could have been lowered immediately, and criminal liability cannot be taken lightly. Jeffrey J. Hall also tweeted, "Breaking, a Japanese court has found American kick streamer Johnny Somali guilty of criminal obstruction of a business. Fined roughly 1,400 USD, he must leave Japan, possibly via deportation with an entry ban to Japan. As a tourist, his visa expired some time ago, and being kicked out of Japan may or may not be in the form of a formal deportation order. If they treat him as a visa overstayer and deport him, it's a multi-year ban on re-entry to Japan. If he ever tries to re-enter Japan, he'd have to check the box on his entry form admitting he committed a criminal offense. Entry denials for people who aren't sentenced to jail time are discretionary. If he is deported, it becomes a stricter ban." I think a lot of people reading this tweet may have wanted him to receive a prison sentence, which would have resulted in a 5-year entry ban. However, Japanese prosecutors asked for a fine only. Johnny was in Japan in spring 2023, left for another country, and returned sometime around early September 2023. He was arrested in early November 2023 and detained until January 10th, 2024. Tourist visas are typically 90 days in duration. Another comment, however, says, Johnny entered Japan in May 2023, left for Bali on June 14th, then visited Thailand on June 19th, and returned on August 17th, 2023. He was arrested on September 21st, 2023, and detained until January 10th, 2024. This means his duration expired on October 10th or 11th. Let's check out this comment. "As a Japanese citizen, I'm ticked off by the prosecution's decision to drop the charges of trespassing. A 200,000 Japanese yen fine is a slap on the wrist, given that the maximum penalty for obstructing business by force, according to the Japanese Penal Code, is up to 3 years imprisonment or a fine of up to 500,000 yen. And I'm assuming they made a typo on that 200,000 figure. The prosecution should also have pursued charges of trespassing, an offense punishable by up to 3 years imprisonment or a fine of up to 100,000 yen. Although in Japan, we do not typically stack prison sentences as in the US. A more substantial punishment would have been appropriate in this case to discourage another Johnny Somali wannabe." It does seem odd that the prosecution dropped the trespassing charges when there was seemingly clear evidence of him trespassing, and more so with the court also saying that his criminal actions cannot be taken lightly, to paraphrase a bit. Still, I'm sure being stuck in a cell for 4 months or so while he was detained was not fun for him at all. And of course, with him now apparently having a criminal record in Japan, that's likely to complicate any potential re-entry for him in the future. Might get an instant denial or something. So ultimately, while it seems he did get off a bit light, given the prosecution dropping the criminal trespass charges, it's not like this dude got off completely easy either, with his apparent detainment for months, the fine, and the criminal record. So let me know what you think about this update, or rather this conclusion, in the comments. And thank you for tuning in. I'll see you there, and of course in the next segment.